Oh, they may be playing football and the crowd is yelling, kill the referee. But no matter what score, when the clock strikes 4, everything's top for tea.
All right, well, hi guys, welcome to Spill the Tea, the show for British expats and everybody who just loves all things British. We just started talking there, and when we were supposed to. I'm Ian.
Wait a minute, I can hear my phone. Hang on.
It's already started. It's already going to be one of those shows.
I'm already messing up, but you know what? I'm Sam. This is Ian.
Yes.
And you can expect celebrity interviews, features, and all kinds of fun stuff. And flubs. Well, we started with a flub today. I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on, Ian?
Well, what's going on the show, Sam?
All kinds of stuff's going on the show. We've got a guest coming in today.
We do. Who we got?
We've got Eve Dawes. She's the founder of Dawes Custom Cosmetics. Who doesn't love makeup? You're looking good in yours today, Ian.
I know what you're talking about.
You naturally
Doesn't
look like
happen.
that.
Doesn't happen.
Actually, someone asked us what makeup we were wearing because we looked so good, or what filter we were using.
No. See,
It wasn't a filter. Someone asked me we were using a filter.
maybe a filter. I don't know. But it's that whole, you know, that thing they've been doing on Facebook, the 10-year challenge.
Yes.
I'm not doing that.
No, I think that's a data capture thing, so that when eventually you're on the run, they're going to have a progression of how you've aged when they're looking for you.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's
so
what I think.
are you going to do it? You're going to do No?
No, because I look the same as I did 10 years ago anyway.
Well, but those are the people that are doing it, are the ones that it's when you get a little later. 10 years makes a big difference.
If you look disastrous, you're probably not doing it.
You're probably not doing it. You're only doing it if you know you look pretty much the same.
How do you know it's 10 years old, that picture? How do you know it's not a year ago?
Ah, I see.
I mean, that's a bit...
That's just trust, isn't it?
It is. I think Brits are we love our conspiracy theories. I'm right down that lane today.
So, all right, yeah, I get that. But speaking of conspiracy theories...
Yeah?
The Queen. So, no, here's the thing. We've had more traction on your post on the Facebook page on her than we do on the actual show. So
it shows she's way more popular than we are.
Yes. So today the show is brought to you by a mini queen. What's it called?
We have to do a shout out because someone that follows us on Instagram, and if you want to follow us on Instagram, it is Spill the Tea Show. Yeah, she has a little queen. Hers is a green one. She doesn't have the corgi though, and she travels everywhere with her. I mean, she goes everywhere. It's great. But her account is called Itsy Lilibet. So I want to do a little shout out because that's what inspired me to get our queen. Now there's a whole royal family, by the way.
Yes.
Someone asked me if there was a Prince Andrew. There was not. How ironic.
Not anymore. He had to cancel his 60th birthday party as well.
Oh, diddums.
Do you think sorry, I'm just doing the share thing because we have to do that.
I'm a little bit warm in here. Are you warm? Oh, it must be you making me hot, Ian.
Clearly.
It must be you.
Yeah, they're saying it could be a constitutional crisis. Do you think it is?
I think we've had them before. I mean, I think we had one with when Diana came out with her interview. That was, at the time, extremely shocking because the royals didn't do those kind of interviews. I don't know. Then you go back to Wallace and Mrs. Simpson. That was bad.
Right.
But it also tells you how the times have changed because you might look at that now, Wallace and Mrs. Simpson, and go, really? Well, it's just because she was American or she wasn't royal, or do you know what I mean? But I think that the thing was he abdicated, like he stepped down to be with her. You know?
Yeah, but I mean,
changes over time.
We've reached a new level.
Oh, yeah, we definitely reached a new level.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, but
bless him. But back to the Queen.
Yeah.
She's pretty popular. So what was the name of the...
Itty Bitty Lilibet on Instagram.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm trying to multitask and I'm not... It's not happening.
I just had to turn mine off because I had the volume on.
Trying to share... Oh, that's a really good point. I have to turn that down. I was trying to share and
Go
talk,
on, you can do it.
And
you
it
can
doesn't.
do it.
Yvonne's on already. Hi, Sam.
Yvonne.
And Ian. Hi, Yvonne.
She taught me how to make the best boiled eggs. I may have said that before, but foolproof every single time.
Very good.
It's pretty amazing.
So I was going to ask you what you did at the weekend, but I sort of know one of the things you did at the weekend because we were both there.
Well, you and I hung out.
We went to an event.
We went to an event. ICJ UK, which is inspired by Claire Jane, UK, is a friend of ours, and she has a clothing company, and it's all kinds of rock and roll. She calls it wearable art, and she's gone to a new level now, hasn't she, where when I think about when she first started, and She started off with the handbags, the purses, handmade, which are amazing, with feathers, beautiful. And then T-shirts came in. And when I think from then to now, and a big showroom and an office.
No, it's great.
It's pretty amazing,
It really is. And it was kind of like a Spill the Tea reunion. There was a whole load of other guests.
It was, actually.
That we've had on the show already.
There were some of our past guests that were there.
Although, I have to say, I was wearing a baseball hat that day.
You were.
And it was
Dixie's famous now. Has to be incognito.
No, it was a bad hair day. But it was like the cloak of invisibility, like Harry Potter, because I'm standing there next to Craig Murin.
Yes.
And no idea. And his wife, who had no idea.
No clue
but
who you
neither
were.
Of them
Or
had
they were
any
just
idea.
ignoring you. They're like, oh, gosh,
Well,
that
there was
Anne's
that, of
here
course,
again.
Yeah. And then Cherry as well, our
Yes.
hypnotherapist. By the way, I made my appointment with her that day.
Are you going to film?
No.
Ethically, is it okay to film?
No, she says you can,
Yeah?
but
Why don't you film it and then we'll review it?
She might make me do weird things and then say, no, we didn't do anything.
Let's film it. Let's film it.
Mm-mm.
You should film it and then we'll review it. That's what you should do.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's going to be an amazing experience for you. Because tell everybody what it is you're going for.
We had Cherry Bly on the show a couple of weeks ago, and she's a hypnotherapist, and we were talking about how it can benefit you for all different types of things, including the one thing that I have, which is tinnitus, which is like the sort of the high pitch ringing in your ears.
Yeah.
And she said, no, you can treat that. So I said, well, I'll give it a go then. So we saw her there, and I was like, okay, let's lock it in. So I locked it in. So we'll go and do it.
It's amazing what happens when you go out to a little party, a little sip and shop.
It was, and it had more Union Jacks in her showroom than we have on this set. Actually, it's very British.
It was so Christmassy though inside.
It was.
I think they should just keep it like that all year round, and then just change the theme of the trees.
Yeah.
I have a friend that does that. So she has a Valentine's tree, she has an Easter tree. It's the same tree.
Oh, Amanda and Patrick, my business partner Amanda, they keep their Christmas tree up all year round.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, they used to have it up most of the year in the house, but now they've decided they just have the one by the front door.
I love that.
It's like a 6-foot tree by the front door.
My tree's been up a couple of weeks now. It has. But here's my theory. If Christmas makes you happy, extend your Christmas, get that tree up and watch some Hallmark films and be happy.
No, I agree,
what I
but
mean?
there is a limit where you got to go, it's...
Is there a law?
October 31st, you've only just literally sort of tricked and treated.
Yeah.
And the Christmas tree goes up now.
Well, wait a bit. You've got your bonfire night. Well, I'm talking about back in England. You've got your bonfire night. I think it happens.
Well, I don't know how quickly it goes up over there right now, but I know over here it's like the next day.
Yeah.
Because we have Thanksgiving coming up here in the United States this week.
This Thursday.
Yep. And
do you celebrate it? It's not. This is a funny story. When I first got married, and Jim's mum was asking me, "Is there something special your mum makes for you, food-wise, on Thanksgiving?" So I said, "We don't celebrate Thanksgiving." And she looked at me like, "Oh, poor things." And I said, "No." And I explained why. And she said, "Well, maybe you want to celebrate getting rid of those pilgrims." So
that's giving thanks.
It is giving thanks. As many years as I've lived here, I've never had to make a Thanksgiving dinner. We always get so many invites, and it's great. I know you and
Amanda and Patrick. They do like the refugee.
They do. Yeah. Well, we do that, don't we? Basically, we gather everybody around. So anyone want to be by themselves at Christmas and Thanksgiving. It's nice that we all do that.
Yeah.
I won't be there.
I know, you're invited.
I'll be at the rabbi's house. That was the first invite that came in.
Fair comment. Well, come over afterwards then. Do the whole rabbi thing and then come by.
Well, the whole rabbi thing. What does that look like?
I don't know. Who knows what that looks like? You do.
I do enjoy making a dessert for them because I really enjoy exposing them to British desserts. And what I'm doing this year, I'm doing traditional parkin and homemade custard. Don't tell me you don't know what parkin is.
Well, it's traditional, so I clearly know what it is.
It's
clue.
Very
What's
gingery,
parkin?
sponge. It's got oats in it. Let us know if you know what parkin is. It's a very Yorkshire thing, but it's
what I do in my car.
Parkin. Parkin. Actually, later on in the show, we're going to talk about crumpets, bit of crumpet and pikelets later on.
Oh, fine.
The big debates coming up.
You were telling me you had a thing.
I have a thing. I have a thing for everyone.
So this wasn't just a random thing you posted on the Facebook page. This was something that you're thinking, I'm going to follow on from this.
I'm going to take it one step further.
Yeah.
I'm going to be extra.
Well, but Thursday you should just Come on,
because
I'm just inviting you to Amanda and Patrick's again.
Well, they did invite me.
Yeah,
and I did have to let her know,
But they've got 24 for lunch.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Patrick can cook though.
He can.
Can he cook?
Can he? That's why
I
I'm
always
going.
have a little bit of pressure when I bring dessert over because he's so good. But if Patrick likes it, I'm like, it must be good. If he likes what I've made.
He turns into Gordon Ramsay, doesn't he?
He does
Really?
a little bit.
Yeah,
but a bit nicer. A bit more cuddly.
But he's also Scottish, so...
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
He could play the role.
He could.
So, speaking of the holidays, it's the show of segues again. We're doing one of those.
It's all right. We're good at that.
We do. We've got to link it somehow.
Segue show.
We were talking about an idea that we think we're going to do.
Yes.
Are we doing it?
We're doing it. Well, let's just do it. We're gonna give you some basic details, and because we're gonna hammer some other details out. But on New Year's Eve, every year I celebrate at 4:00 in the afternoon when it's the New Year's Eve in England. I love it because I'm out celebrating in the afternoon, then I'm home, with the dogs, and it's great.
So that is your New Year's. You don't do 2. You don't
I
do
don't
the
do
4
2.
o'clock
And
the
I'm
12 o'clock.
typically not with Jim because he's usually playing. And sometimes I can't go with him, or sometimes just don't want to go because I enjoy being with my dogs and watching everything on
telly. I realise you're very close today. I'm just like, oh, you're right there.
I am right there.
Because that's where Eve's going to be sitting.
We have an extra space because our guest is coming up shortly.
Yeah. You just wanted to be over here, didn't
I did, actually, because I know you had a shower today, whether you needed it or not.
Oh,
So, we are going to do a private New Year's Eve party and show. So instead of our normal show on the Monday, we're actually going to do the New Year's Eve show. But what this will entail is you come in dressed up for New Year's Eve. We'll be dressed up. We're going to do it in style, aren't we? And then that means he'll wear a hoodie.
No.
With a bow tie.
It started off... Oh, look.
Hoodie and a bow tie. What you got on today?
I don't know what happened there. It looks a little bit weird.
Actually, you look nice today. I do like your jumper.
Thank you.
And so what it'll be, have we hammered out the hours? What did we say it was going to be? The show will be actually start at 3:30, so that we'll definitely ring in
3:30 to 4:30, the actual show. And then we'll do it right here in the studio.
Yeah.
Those who know already, we've got a big old studio right behind this wall.
There'll be a time bookend basically, getting together, have a little drink and some nibbles.
Drinks and nibbles. We'll see if we can get some live music, maybe.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be really good.
That would be really. Oh, that would be really fun.
And then if you're elsewhere, join us, on the show, and then we'll include you.
And you just
And if you're in Las Vegas, come on over.
But what you'll need to do is just message us though on this page so that we can give you the details. And and there'll be a little bit more.
I expect we'll post something as well.
Oh yeah, we'll create something.
And we'll put it on the website at spillthetealive.com.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
so who's up for that? Have we got any comments? Who's up for that? Who wants to come and celebrate New Year's Eve with us?
Oh, Eric, Ricky's watching. Hey, Eric. Good to see you.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think we'll have a good time. It'll be very different. We've done a lot of the same thing year after year after year, so I think it'll be really nice to something very different. I think I think it could grow as well.
It'll be our first kind of live, not our first live show, but our first live with people around show.
Yeah, apart from the couple that we've had when...
Oh, yeah, we did have a few, but hopefully that was like 4.
But this is going to be a true, party celebration.
Yeah, exactly.
You can all dress up and...
Yeah, and we'll do the countdown and the whole bit.
Oh, that'd be really good.
I like the idea.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And then you can go home and get your pyjamas and hang out with your pets and watch it on telly after that.
Right. Oh, the other thing I wanted to just mention, by the way, before we get even, which will probably be coming up shortly, is a couple of weeks ago, we posted on the page that a link if you were planning on voting in the general election. Your deadline is Tuesday evening at midnight GMT. So, I was only thinking about that because I just did that over the weekend myself. So I thought I'd mention it just in case you were like, you know what, this is the one time I want to vote. So you've got to register before then. It's actually on the page. I'll pop it up the page somewhat, but there's a link on the Facebook page that will take you directly to where you can register to vote. It's
a rough time to be doing an election, though, leading up to Christmas, isn't it? It makes you wonder.
Yeah, it's true, actually.
I don't know. I think people will come out in droves, though, for this one.
I think they'll come out. I just, the big stories are going to be the result of it, what happens, and then it's going to clash with
It's going to be very interesting because it really, in all honesty, though we don't talk about Brexit, they're calling it the Brexit vote.
No way, yeah.
Based on how people feel right now, which is very different from what a lot of people felt years ago. needless to say, I think most people are fed up. So you know what? Don't watch any of that stuff. Watch us. It's way more
And
fun.
it's true. And you know, you and I don't even talk about that stuff.
No.
I don't even know what your opinion. I don't even know.
I do like politics. I follow
well,
politics every day, actually. But
yeah.
Because I'm not as.
It's because I still like you. Maybe I don't want to know.
Well, I don't know. It is draining, and I think you have to know when to step back away from it and have a little break.
Precisely.
And that's what I'm doing right now, and it's great. I really like that. So,
well, shall we bounce along?
Right. So let's bounce along. We've got a great guest coming. Like in the next 10 seconds. Her name is Eve Dawes. She is the founder of Dawes Custom Cosmetics. What are you like is our segment.
Welcome, Eve.
Ta-da!
And as if she's suddenly there.
You get magic on this show too.
Exactly.
You get it all. Thank you for coming and being on the show. I followed you for a little while.
Oh, you too.
We do have a thing about following Brits. Well, I do. Do you? I want to know what the Brits are doing over here. What are you doing?
Well, yeah.
And what are you like? This is what our segment is. What are you like? We get to find out what some of our Brits are doing, how the heck they ended up here, and how they got involved in what they're doing. I had a feeling through following Eve that she may have come from a dance background. And it's true, isn't it?
It is.
And we have some parallels.
Yeah.
So working on cruise ships, meeting our husbands on cruise ships. It's a very common thing, though. It's very common. There are tons of couples here, mainly Americans with mainly wives that are from England. And
Right.
I think Vegas is kind of the next step from cruise ships. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the entertainment keeps going.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got some parallels. But you're here. How the heck did you end up here in Vegas? Where did you come from to get here?
How long do you have?
Well, if there's anything like any other show, you can just keep going. We'll be here
That's
until
fine then.
like
All right,
3
just
o'clock
grab
this
your tea and
afternoon.
your lunch and we'll be good to go. So I first came over. Okay, the first time I came over, I was 7, and I was like, I want to live in America because I thought every day I could go to Disney World and eat pizzas the size of my head and have ice cream for lunch, and that was all good. Anyway, turns out that's not the case if you want to fit in your clothes. I came back to teach ballet at a stage school in New York. So I was in between contracts for Vienna Festival Ballet, and I didn't go back. I ended up auditioning in New York for cruise ships, and I was like, I don't have to dance on point, and I can dance every day to Full House. I can make some more money, and I can travel the world. So I'm just gonna stay here and do cruise ships.
What a great transition, though.
Yeah, really.
And then you get onto cruise ships, and then what happens?
And then on literally the very last day, I so believe in fate, because on the last day I met my husband on a beach in Barbados. Didn't even know we were on, in the cruise ships, introduced to each other. And then maybe 6 months later, he randomly emailed, and then we started emailing, and then FaceTiming, and then...
Wait, there was a 6-month gap between... He had to think about this.
Well, no, he was emailing, but it wasn't I think it was just a group email to everyone he met on the cruise ship to begin with.
Okay.
Although he swears blind, he did email me a one-on-one. I don't remember that. But then I remember it being, I responded, and that was a one-on-one email. And then it's it took him a while, I think, to get the confidence to give me a call to see where it would go. And I just got this random call from him out of the blue. And I was staying at my sister's house at the time because I was doing my personal training certification. I was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but kind of cool. Okay, we'll just chat. But it took 8 months from meeting to going on our first date.
Where did you go on your first date?
I flew out to Washington, D.C.
Well, that's
because it was kind of halfway in between.
right.
Okay.
And where were you based? You were in New York.
I was back in London at that
Oh,
point.
you were back in...
I was back in London.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, I move all over the place a
Yes.
lot. English like to bounce around.
Gotcha.
And he was living in Sacramento, so he has family back on the East Coast. So we kind of met halfway. I met the parents on the first date.
That is
No pressure.
full on.
Yeah, no pressure whatsoever. So, but I felt like we knew each other a lot by then anyway. Yes, it was really nice. It was a 3-day first date, so we got to know each other quite well as well.
And how long after that did you get married?
I want to say about 2 years.
And were you going the back and
I
forth
was
thing?
I got back on the cruise ship so that I could lease dock in America. I think he did 22 cruises.
Oh!
And he'd come for the day every weekend to see me. So.
That's dedication.
It really is.
Would you do that, Ian?
Well-
Would you be that dedicated?
I think if it had been on somebody who worked on a cruise ship, quite possibly. If you'd been, working in an accountant's office, I'm not sure I would have gone there every day. So I mean,
and you're based in the Caribbean, it's a bit of a
exactly.
appeal.
Yeah, what a bind! I've got to go and maintain my relationship, get on another cruise. So yeah, I think circumstantially it helped.
It does help.
It added to the package.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Now, did you get married here? Did you get married in England? Did you do both things? I think that's a big thing for our Brits here when they get married. It's that. What do? We don't want to leave family out. Some can't fly. This is the expense of it. Like, what do you do? And it's quite difficult, I think, for a lot of people. But what did you do?
So we were torn between California, because that's where he was and where his friends were, the East Coast where his family was, or England where my family were. And it was a case of, well, if we do it in California, everyone's got to fly. And wherever you go, so it's like England was almost like easier it was just as easy for his East Coast family as coming to California as going home.
Right.
So
see.
We did it in England. The church was built in like 1052. It's in the Book of Doomsday. And this little quaint English village. So the Americans loved it. They got a great vacation out of it.
Well, that's fabulous, isn't it?
And they all went off and did their tours afterwards. And I don't know,
Whereabouts was that actually? Was it in like the church?
The church is in Essex.
Oh, in Essex.
I'm an Essex
okay.
girl.
Oh.
Explains a lot, right?
Ian's trying not to say anything.
Because I have a blonde moment. I'm just going to blame it on that.
I thought I tripped over the handbag. We're going to dance around it.
Dance around,
right?
absolutely.
So you ended up moving back here then, and then like you talked about you got a personal training certification. You competed too, though, didn't you?
I did.
You're a competitor in.
I did the WBFF, and I won my pro certificate, and I competed at Worlds as
What's
well.
What's WBFF for those that
World
don't know,
Beauty,
including me?
Fitness and Fashion. A lot of people think I'm like one of the WWE divas, like, I can't wait to see you throw it down. I'm like, I'm not quite.
I was going to say, if that had been the case, you're between workouts right now.
I am, yes,
not
off
the
season.
Right. So this show's perfect. I mean, it's cosmetics and fitness, which the two things I probably have least connection to. But
So I take a nap over there.
I will. I'm fine. It's all good.
I think when you find yourself in, coming from a dance background and then, coming into fitness, you then find yourself naturally going into wellness and all those kind of like what feels good and the things you should be doing for yourself. So it kind of makes sense with your blog and your podcast, because it's called Glamour and Gains.
Yeah.
So it's everything that you do. But what I kept following was her cosmetics company.
The Dawes Custom Cosmetics, you mean? I'm only saying that because we've got these bottles of water right
What made you go down that path? I mean, I think all girls, it's fair to say, really love makeup. Yeah. So
well, you were on the right track. So originally, Glamour and Gains actually started off as Angel v Devil, and it's supposed to be finding the balance between the good voice in your head that's like telling you, like, okay, work out, eat the salad, and the bad voice going, eat the brownies, and don't be lazy at home. But no one really got the title. You don't have those voices going on.
I'm going to make the tea while you're doing that. I'll put myself to use. No, you guys carry on. I'm going to make myself useful.
I'm going to put my cup there.
Nice cup of tea.
We'll do a little pass around. We'll get this tea pouring down. I mean, it's an obstacle course.
There is. Mine, Lilibet.
Yeah, I don't know. Make sure you get some tea.
So that turned into Fitness by Eve, because I was going more that route and it was clearer what it was. And then, but I started because it's holistic, right? Fitness, it's not just workouts. It's looking at what are you putting in your body? What are you putting on your body? The skin's the largest organ, so we're absorbing everything. So point working out and eating well and then just putting crap on yourself. So it's like, okay, let's just make it like Glamour and Gains, because I wanted to make it not scary. Some women are still scared to lift weights. They're worried about bulking out. They don't see you can still be feminine and beautiful and love your makeup.
You only have to see your pictures and you'll see that, and just in such great shape. It's a shame that those myths are still, running around. Unfortunately, you just spilled tea all over me, but that's all right.
And me.
My mum would love this. She appreciates a good cup and saucer.
Me too. Don't give me a paper cup. I can't stand it.
Did I really tip it?
No.
It's like plastic glasses for champagne. There are certain things that just like
yeah, needs some weight to it. Do we have milk?
Yeah, give me a chance.
I couldn't see it. I just couldn't see it.
Scott like to take charge.
We're talking about health and fitness. Do you want sugar?
I'm good.
You don't do sugar.
I'll have hers.
You talk about, and I think this has been massive the past year, which is really how safe are the products that we put on our face? Yep. How good is the food that we, eat?
Let's go to it black.
And she's very good. But I think this past year there's been a huge interest in Is it vegan? Is it cruelty-free? Is there a reason why it's got preservatives in it? That kind of thing. Is that dangerous to us as well? And it's quite hard, I think, to kind of wade your way through that stuff. But I think what you do is you help us out with that by explaining, what's good, what you need to look out for. But I think that's the basis of your cosmetics company, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us more.
Yeah, you can't shut me up about this stuff.
As I had my third sugar lump.
We didn't see.
No, you know what? I actually was checking on the monitor to make sure that we weren't on the wide shot, because I paused before I put my third lump in. Like
is anyone watching?
But I still tell you anyway.
See, that was the devil. The little guilt trip was telling on your shoulder that you felt like you had to say that.
That's not guilt. He's in control.
So the basis of your company, I know it's definitely vegan. It's definitely cruelty-free. I am all about that because I'm all about animals, and it's just not necessary. Tell us what else about that's important that we should know about your cosmetics.
So the ingredients are all natural and they're all sourced in the USA. Most of them are organic. So one of the things in there, there's castor oil and there's organic castor oil. And some ingredients, it doesn't matter so much if they're organic, and others do, because they can go rancid and they can be cross-contaminated. I would say, like, if you don't have to learn all of your ingredients, because it is overwhelming, right? What am I looking for? What am I not? A lot of them are in Latin. Even mine, they're in Latin, but then I have the translation of what it is, because plants and things like that do tend to be in Latin. Yeah. It's not that it's not a chemical compound that we're trying to, you're like, what is that? That's made in a lab. It's the actual Latin name, and then the translation. So I'd say things to look out for are, most people say, no sulfates. Look for things like that. Look for organic. Look for gluten-free.
Oh, that is a really good point, because I don't think people realise this. If you've got celiac disease, the cosmetics, the body lotions you can put on yourself, if it's not gluten-free, you can have a reaction. Yeah. And a lot of people think it's just related to food.
Yeah, it's because, especially when the companies aren't using natural ingredients, they're using a lot of starches and fillers to make the cosmetics thicker, and that has the gluten in, or they could be sharing a facility that has gluten contaminating the atmosphere. So if you have celiac, it is something you need to be very aware of.
Oh, I think that's such a good point, though, for people. And I'm sure there'll be a few people out there go, really? I didn't even know that. But no one needs a reaction.
Yeah. And basically, it's hard if you go, it's kind of finding the in-between. Sephora and Ulta have brilliant ranges of cruelty-free clean cosmetics, but it seems to be the drugstore and department stores at either end of the spectrum that aren't cruelty-free. And that's kind of where I kind of wanted to fill the luxury cosmetic makeup, because I used to love all the luxury brands. I'm guilty, and all of them are tested in China and they manufacture over there.
That's right. Now, is it true that if it says made in China, it is animal tested because they require it, but we don't require animal testing here, correct?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? So it makes no sense. So if it's tested on animals, it's probably made in China because they require that. Mm-hmm. So having ingredients that's sourced from the States, I think, is really important.
Yeah. And they are very mean. Leaping Bunny are very, very thorough with their certification. You have to, if you're using multiple suppliers, you have to have them fill out paperwork from every single supplier for every single ingredient. Has to go through Leaping Bunny, and you have a cut-off date when the last animal testing was allowed to go on by to get your certification. So it is a process as well. You can't just cruelty-free because you haven't tested. It is certified.
And it's the little bunny symbol, isn't it? You see that in a lot of products.
Look for the writing, not just for the logo, because a lot of small brands like me, I haven't paid to use the logo because you have to pay to use it. Okay. So I'll write cruelty-free. I have the little mock-up bunny logo they give you that says, I am cruelty-free. But the actual official logo, you have to pay quite a substantial sum to use.
Interesting.
So at some point I'll be, that place to use it. But
I think anyone in business, those fees come in, and you just, you take care of it when you can take care of it. You have to sometimes wait for your brand to grow, and you go, okay, now we can do this. It's like trademarks and that kind of thing. You can trademark in your state because it's affordable, but can you do a national one? Can you do an international one? It's really expensive.
I'm still here, by the way.
I know you are. Well, you probably wore a fair bit of makeup in your time.
Oh, you're buying it for people
with all your performing. Did you ever think about what you're putting on your face? Way back in the day, well, definitely in our day, when it was pancake and you wet the sponge and it looked like clay.
Especially for Swan Lake, and you're putting it all over your body. God knows what we were putting on our skin.
I know, when I think about it. There was no contouring, it was just slap it on.
And now it just comes to this. We just sit here and just look totally natural.
That's right. Yeah. I have no makeup on. No, I woke up just like
this. It's actually the toughest thing I've got today is making tea without makeup.
Can I just challenge? Talking to lipstick, I'm all over my tea.
Frustrated.
So you, I think what I like about what you do something very, very special though with you. It's custom cosmetics. I think that's anyone's dream who loves cosmetics. I mean, how many times have you're hanging on to the last bit of that favourite lipstick? I still have a lipstick, I'm not lying, from Miss Selfridge's. I'm going to say it's 25 years old. I don't use it because who knows, my lips will probably drop off. But the colour, it's a red-orange. Never found one like it.
And they discontinue it. As soon as you fall in love with a lipstick, it gets discontinued.
It's gone.
So you can sample it and match it?
So we can either do, if you bring in
See, look, I'm
we can,
contributing.
You're good.
We can do a little colour match and, match your discontinued colours. So that's great if you have a favourite, like you're saying, then you can't get hold of it anymore.
Yeah.
Because women
Like
go through
B&Q
50
with
reds
paint.
to find it. Yes, there you go.
You can just
So
take
to
it and
relate
you can...
to it.
Isn't that a fantastic idea?
That's great. Wow.
And I think, and you also then can do custom
From scratch.
I think would make a beautiful gift for someone.
So now I have this image of you sitting in your kitchen, actually mixing all these things up in potions. And...
Pretty much, but in the lab with a lab jacket and the gloves on.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're quite
literally
strict
can
about
test
that.
Tubes,
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
But I assume that you have a source that does that for you.
I make everything by hand.
Oh,
and
you
myself
do?
and the makeup artist. So I'll train people.
Yeah,
But
it's a
there's
whole...
videos of me blending it, and I
you
had to
can
do
see
it with
it right
chemistry
now.
and learn how to use it and how to there's a lot of math involved to get it right, so it doesn't snap, so you have enough colour payoff.
Wow.
So the scent and fragrance
And we're
is just
taking a look
right.
at some of it right now. Look at
Oh
that.
yeah, all my cosmetics. all
Tell
the different
everyone what
colours.
colour payoff means, because a lot of people may not know what that means.
So the opacity, is it sheer and just a colour wash, or is it like a really deep, vibrant, bright, opaque colour? Because I like the really opaque colours.
Yeah.
I want that payoff that's really bright and bold, even if it's a nude, I still don't want you to see my lips. I want the colour coverage.
I just think one you can get your discontinued cosmetics recreated, brought back to life. You can gift someone, but then you also do bachelorette type or
so people
hen
come and
party
party
type
with us,
things.
yeah.
Tell us about that.
So it's by appointment only, but you can book to come in. You can do it on your own, but you can also do it as a group. So you book to come in, we'll pour you wine, mimosas, and you'll create your custom colours with us. You add your scent and fragrance, you get to name it, and then we'll save your formula online. So if you're not from Vegas, you can still reorder it from wherever you are in the world.
You can do a virtual thing too.
You can also do it virtually. Yeah, you can sit at home on your couch in your PJs, and we'll put it over the mixing board, and we'll blend for you, and you'll give us direction on the colour. Do you want it brighter, lighter, darker, cooler, warmer,
I think that's
more pink?
wonderful. What would you call your lipstick?
Well,
Or your lip gloss?
this
What would you call it? What would you name your custom lipstick?
pretty... I was going to say...
Fabulous.
I was going to say something that pretty abysmal, really, since it's natural, au naturel. There you go. That's what we'll call it.
I think mine would be twins, and I'd make it for me and my twin
That's
sister.
cute.
I think that's what I would do.
Oh, I'll have to do that.
Yeah. If I made one for my mum, I nearly broke the mic there. It would have to be called Lady Irene, because everybody calls my mum Lady Irene, and it's Lady Irene Red.
Ooh.
My mom still loves her red.
The
red
signature red. And I think especially for reds, it's such a hard colour to get right because it's red, it's blue or it's pink or it's orange, and sometimes it doesn't suit your skin tone.
Or it makes your teeth look yellow.
Yeah, that's
is it the
not
blue
cute look.
which is the one that makes your teeth look yellow?
It's the orangey ones. The bluer it is, the whiter your teeth are going to look.
You see, we're learning all kinds of
And you don't think of
stuff.
a lipstick as blue, but it has those blue cool undertones.
I'm just messaging people on comments here.
What are they saying? We want to know.
I'm just saying hi
All
to
the men are
everybody.
stop talking about makeup.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Gift your girls. Christmas is coming up.
We've got Ben Stone on right now.
Ben. Oh, but did I tell you we met up with Ben and Jasmine when we were in England? We went to Liverpool.
No, you didn't tell me that. You didn't. See, we had Piff on last
we only
week.
did a little bit, didn't we?
We had to dive straight into Piff's thing, but we
Yes.
didn't get your full English report.
Maybe we'll do that next week, because I've got some great photos of the beach, the countryside, the history. Maybe I'll put a bunch of stuff together.
History?
The history of the country.
It's a bit of an Americanism coming out there.
The UK, we have all the history.
We own all the history. Or like I always say to Jim, we invented everything.
Right.
I always say we invented that, even if we didn't. I just say we invented it. So maybe
Craig's on C right there.
So maybe we'll catch up next week. But yeah, seriously, if you need to get a very unique gift,
He recognises me now because I haven't got a baseball hat
since
on.
it's coming up. People do Thanksgiving gifts, though.
Yeah, well, for your hostess, if you're going over there, rather than a bottle of wine or a box of chocolates, do something totally original.
They might be getting sick of flowers, chocolates, and, well, maybe not chocolates, but flowers and candles. To have a custom lipstick, and you can do it from anywhere in the world. Yeah. Or gift them the experience.
Exactly.
Oh, I think that's amazing.
Because they can do it as a gift certificate, and we can email it to them, and they have it. They don't have to come and pick up a gift certificate. And we have a holiday gift set already that's already curated of our top selling colours. So there's loads of options on there. You don't have to just do
There it
costume.
I love
I'm
it.
going to have a go now because I've been sitting here doing nothing.
Yeah, what we're going to talk about now? Well, we've got more topics to talk about.
Well, not so much that. I want to find out, so how long have you been, I know we talked about this, but I'm not sure if you said it in years, how long you've been living here.
Now I've got to do my math. From when I first came out to teaching or when I got married and moved over here, permanently?
Whatever you choose.
Well, 2002 was when I first came out to teach, and then I've been married 11 years.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, you've been here a while.
I've been here a while.
Yeah.
You have. So what do you miss? What do you miss from the UK?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I would say my mum's home cooking, but she lives here half the year, so I've got that down.
Oh, I love that.
She's actually cooking Thanksgiving and dinner next week. So, with my dad, I can't forget him. He's a
Are
really
they
good
here
cook.
in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice to have your family here. That's lovely.
But what do I miss most? Probably a sunny day in the beer garden with a really cold glass of wine and a good English pub lunch.
Yeah, Plowman's. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at us
that's a good
dreaming.
one.
Right?
Yeah. Along, with the river going through it, and even the pesky wasps buzzing around. It still is part of it.
Yeah, you'll live
Or
with
a picnic
it.
in the park. Just things like that.
Oh my gosh. Now, when people come here to visit you, family or friends, what's the first place that you take them to in Vegas? You think they've got to go here?
Well, obviously take them to the Lipstick Lab and make for them because I want them to see what I'm doing. And it's right by the strip. So then there's a few bars I really like. It's closed right now, but I like Hyde at sunset at Bellagio because you can watch sunset. You can see Paris opposite, see the fountains.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like Mon Ami Gabi, super touristy, but it's good food. And
Yes, it
again,
is.
on the strip, so good views. And then what else? I take them hiking in Red Rock so they see there are other things beside the strip.
Yes.
And then Absinthe because I think it's hilarious.
Do you know, that's a great show. That's a really great show.
Actually, and I'm not
Were
usually
you in
down
it?
for...
Were you in it?
No, I wasn't in that one. I think every other show. I mean,
Tightrope.
Tap dancing.
No, I tell you what I did go and see, though, which... to me, actually, is probably as good, if not better, is that Atomic Saloon.
I haven't been to that yet, so it is good.
It is good.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I wasn't expecting it, but I mean, just it's nice to have another show that you kind of go, actually, I really laughed at that, and it was well done.
And if I want a cleaner option, I'll take them to Human Nature because it's a really good, really good singers live in
Funny you should
Were you
say
in that show
Just
too,
saying.
Ian?
No, they used to have their offices here. They used to be based here, and they rehearsed that show here. as
Okay,
well. So
but that's especially now with their Christmas show, it's that good feel-good time to go see it.
And
It is.
a lot of people do like Motown, though.
Yeah,
they
oh, yeah,
love
absolutely.
Motown music.
And my favourite section is actually
Funny
when I
you
do the
should say
throwback to the
that.
90s.
So that again.
I'm sorry, I'm
I
messing
like their
with you.
boy band section, when I say throwback. Brilliant, because that's the era I grew up in. So
It is funny
it's
though
fun.
to see them. They were huge though, weren't they, in Australia? Absolutely massive.
I hadn't heard of them until I was told they were Australian.
Oh
In
no,
fact,
they were definitely I know they were around in England when I was there.
Were they?
Eric Ricky, who was watching, I don't know if he still is. His wife's Australian, and the first time they came in to rehearse in here, she was freaking out a little bit, and she's cool. She's very laid back usually.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what's the thing? And she's like, Human Nature in there. I went, oh yeah, you're Australian. And so it was a big deal
But
for
it was
them
so
because it was
more than
like
that, wasn't
it was
it, for
like
her?
Take That or In Sync or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Of Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say it that way. It's horrible, isn't it? The newscasters don't like that here. Australia.
It's like when you
They
try and copy
try.
the accent.
They
It's like when
try.
people try and do English or
It's like,
try and do
don't.
American. It's just horrible.
It's like,
Just,
don't do
no.
that. There's someone I know. I don't see them often, but when I do, they're an acquaintance. They always try and talk to me in an English accent all the time. I see them. It's very weird.
And it
Like-
always seems to be Cockney.
Do you know, I was once asked what's the capital of London?
Oh, England.
England. But where were we going with this? Oh, so the shows that you take,
Yeah.
the clean and the not so
Yeah,
clean.
exactly.
Is there anything new coming up? Oh, there is something new coming up in town, but I'm not allowed to speak about it, and you're not in it. I'm not allowed to speak about it, but there's something coming up that I think people would really, really like.
And Magic Mike's moving to Sahara, so I'm going to have to go and see it, obviously, just to see it in the new location.
You know, those male review shows, they never fail. We did some research
true.
into that. It was dreadful having to go to all those shows
Oh,
for
you
market
poor
research.
And I've been in all of them.
Terrible.
Which one were you in?
All of them.
But they've never failed. They've never closed down unless they were moving to another hotel. It's a very good business plan.
It is. Review shows, magicians, pretty stable.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Hypnotists.
Hypnotists, and also tribute shows.
Yeah.
Those are like the four that statistically have the best chance of surviving.
Or Cirque. Cirque seem they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
Aren't they doing a new one, Cirque?
Yeah, they've just opened one called Run.
Run.
This has got a very Vegas-centric theme today.
It has. It's become...
Usually we try to be a bit more international and global. But
everybody comes here from around the world, don't they?
Yeah.
Everybody shows up.
And if you don't, then come here. Come here.
Yeah, we'll entice you.
Yeah,
come here and see the show. So let's go. Shall we move on to pikelets and crumpets?
Let's face it, because once you've done fitness and health and beauty, you want to segue right onto pikelets and
We
crumpets.
should have had both so people can see the difference what we're talking about.
The calories and whatever. So I wonder what the poll's looking like.
It's calorie free.
Well, it wasn't really a poll. It wasn't really a poll. Let me actually get off that because it's playing.
Your volume's up
I
again.
know it is, and I need to just get rid of that. There we go. Oh, go away.
You got to do your thing on the side.
No, it's off.
Oh, it is?
It's off. Isn't that weird? He's going to tell me off. He's going to dob me in. Right, so let's have a look.
What are you like?
What are you like?
Done that section.
So,
Too late to the party.
these are some of the comments that we got from our friend Sarah back in Sheffield. Being a Midlander, by the way, by birth, I call it a crumpet, but I know here in Sheffield they call it a pikelet. Then we had votes for crumpet, we had votes for pikelet. Someone said crumpet. Pikelets are usually flatter, aren't they? So it seems like no one really knows the truth behind pikelets and crumpets, and here it is.
Oh, we're gonna get a lesson now.
Oh, wait a bit. Where is it? Where is it?
Oh, you see, that's what you...
I was actually
nice bit of
Googling it
preparation.
as well because I was like, oh, I want to know the
Hang
difference.
on, I've got it.
Do you need me to fill?
I've got it on an image.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, don't forget to
Here it is.
go to spillthetealive.com and sign up for our whatever we sign up for. What can you sign up for there?
To come and see
Newsletter.
Newsletter and come and see the show.
And to come see
as
the
well.
show.
Here we go. So,
Oh, that was it. Okay. All right,
strangely enough, I saw an article on Warburton's bread.
Right.
Yeah. And they were founded back in 1876 in Bolton. And it was a whole thing on crumpets. And this recipes were around essentially for centuries. And in the Victorian era, they changed the recipe, though. And they started adding yeast and bicarbonate of soda. That's how you get the bubbles. It releases CO2. Science. You should have brought your lab coat
Should
for
have
this.
done.
Now, the crumpets date back to Anglo-Saxon period, 410 to 1066. What is 1066?
Yeah,
The Battle of Hastings.
That's exactly what
there
it
you
is.
go. They say the origins are a little bit unclear. However, they think that they're taking this back to a 14th century reference. This is what it is, and crumpets were originally known as pikelets.
So basically, everybody's right, just depending on their time in history.
Everybody's right. They were known as pikelets, but how the name crumpet came across was there was a cake called crumpid, Crumpid, crumpid cake, which was a crumpled and curled up cake. So people were referencing this crumpled up
I
cake
think I've lost the will to live.
to the pikelet, and then it became. They were probably going, it looks like a crumpet cake, and then it became a crumpet.
Oh.
So everyone's right.
See, Google gave me a different result though.
They said it's thinner and flatter like a pancake.
Because they couldn't afford the ring that the crumpets cooked
Oh,
in.
yes, it was thinner.
Yeah.
Because the ring
Thinner and
doesn't
flatter.
hold it.
So it's a
in
poor man's crumpet.
It's a If you're eating pikelets, you're having
Too many comments there. By the way, Mark McGarry's watching, and we need to speak to Mark
He
about...
could probably make crumpets, Mark,
probably
because he's a
could.
great chef.
But about our New Year's Eve thing. He'll be able... So, Mark, we need to talk to you
Yeah,
about...
if you didn't catch it, we're doing a New Year's Eve party and show, a
Right
live
here.
show,
Right
right
here.
here
In the
on New
main
Year's
studio.
Eve. British New Year's Eve. So yeah, we
So
definitely
we
need to talk to you.
to talk to Mark.
So there's the thing about the crumpets. Now, have a guess how many crumpets an hour that Warburton's bakes?
Oh, 6.5.
6.5 what? So 6.5 crumpets?
I don't know.
1,000 million.
36,000 an hour. 800,000 a week. They used to be regional, then they were national, and they are international now. They're all over the
Do you
place.
share all this information with Jim at home?
Yeah, this is how I am. Yeah.
You're brilliant at trivia night.
This is how I am. I know random facts, really random facts. I question everything.
Yeah.
So there you go. So since we had the crumpets pikelets, everybody's right. If you're having a pikelet, it's a poor man's crumpet.
We like that. We like that.
But tell us how you eat them. How do you eat yours? I mean, I'm just more of a butter person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How else could you eat them? Well, jam. People like jam on them, don't they? Treacle.
Sure.
Treacle.
All right, Tweakle.
All right, little treacle. All right, me treacle.
Nutella, because it melts down the holes.
Nutella, said the fitness guru. But you can have things in moderation, can't you?
Yeah, 80-20. 70-30.
Get it the right way around, though. What else do you want to talk about?
No, I last week I said I was going to do that map of the world to be able to mark where people.
Oh, yeah.
And I forgot to get it.
Oh.
So next week I will do it next week for sure.
What else?
And so I need to know where people are from. I mean, we can find them. We
want
find
to put you on a map and see how far.
We'll have it like here.
We
or
can
something.
reach.
We'll have it here, just out of shot.
That would be fun. That, and don't forget, send us your shout out videos. You just have to go. We love Spill the Tea. Do us a video and do it landscape, and we'll put you on the show.
Yeah.
I know. I keep hitting that.
You do. So, tell us. I mean, I know we've got all the details, but let us know where we can find you
Oh yeah, on the
water bottle.
On the water bottle. So the website is Dawes Custom Cosmetics, and the Instagram is at Dawes Custom Cosmetics. DAWES, not like windows and doors. Yeah, super easy.
Yeah, because all your links are on that one website, so you can listen to your podcast.
Yeah,
how often
Glamour and Gains
once
a week.
Once a week, you put
on a Sunday, whether it's Apple, Stitcher, TuneIn, all the good ones. You know, it's all out there.
Nice.
Glamour and Gains, and then the blog is Glamour and Gains by Eve, and it's totally different blog posts. We also have the one that matches a podcast, but also a ton more content.
Yeah, because I know that you did a thing on coming up to this season, you know, where we're eating a lot more and stuff that, you know, we wouldn't normally eat the rest of the year.
You have been listening.
Oh, I'm one of those girls. I like my research. But give us some tips on what people can do. And I know people can go, oh, come on, just eat everything. Yeah. But it's a long period of time.
It is.
Really think about it, from Halloween
with the candy, yeah,
all the way to the New Year. It's a very long period of time that if you've kind of been on track and doing well, that it can really throw you off in a big way.
And I always say, like, don't say you can't have it, so you're choosing not to have it, but don't not have it. So I don't want you to feel like you sacrifice. It is the time for all the yummy things.
Yes.
But I have a few tips. So one of them is to buy the individual size portions, unless you're like, if you're having people over, buy the family size bags. But if it's just you, buy like individual packets of chips, or buy like if you're having the cookies, try and eat them and then throw them away. Like, don't snack on them every day. Like, have a few of them and then throw them away. It might sound wasteful, but it's better than sitting there and having eater's remorse.
You're crazy.
If you're going to a party, if you're going to a party, eat dinner before you go.
This Thursday is the big food day. It's Thanksgiving.
Which is fine. Just don't have Thanksgiving every day. And if once you're done, you maybe have some leftover pie the next day. But it's when, like, my husband likes a pumpkin pie, right? But he'll buy the pie and it's like, he'll eat the whole pie because the whole pie's there. Like, you can buy it by the slice, so just be a little bit more smarter with things.
All right.
You know, keep it out of sight, out of mind. Because if it's in the fridge, you're going to see it every day and you're going to eat it every day. Because it's there, right?
Yeah.
If you've got to go out for it, you're much less likely to get in the car and drive for it.
You underestimate me.
You're motivated.
Have you met Ian?
I'm committed.
Well, at least you got a few steps in.
Yeah, that's true. Well done. To the car.
Well done. You know, that's something that we do at Christmas. I don't know if you do it, but I know all of my friends and family do this. We go for a Christmas walk on Christmas morning. Do you do that?
Yeah.
The Christmas walk?
After Christmas lunch. Let it all go down between lunch and dinner.
We do ours in the morning.
No.
We go out with the dogs. We go down. Then we end up at the pub, of course. I mean, that's the destination.
It's open on Christmas
Day?
Yeah, some of them are,
Christmas Day.
live in
Pre-lunch
your
is...
Yeah, yes, yeah, you're in the wrong village there, Eve.
Pre-lunch is booze. Post-lunch is food coma. I mean...
It's an aperitif.
There's no time for anything else.
Do you know, isn't it funny, though? There's things that you eat at Christmas that you don't eat all year round, but you could eat them all year round. But you feel like you're cheating on Christmas.
Well,
it's weird.
True.
It takes away from I think, how special it is at Christmas.
Brandy butter.
Yeah, you could eat that all year if you wanted to, but you don't.
Put it on your crumpets.
We reserve that for Christmas. What traditions do you have for Christmas?
I don't really. It's really whatever. Again,
wherever you get invited.
Wherever I get invited, whatever the traditions are at the destination I'm at, I'll go with that flow.
I think it's a nice time of year, though. I mean, I know for a lot of people they find it difficult. I think you can find it very difficult if your family's elsewhere, like a lot of us. But I have this theory that if you can quite easily talk yourself into having a horrible Christmas by going, I'm not my family and blah, 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 and I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. What's the point? But I feel if you go extra over the top, this is what I do, and really go, I'm getting in the spirit, I feel a lot better about it. And of course, we still got FaceTime. I mean, to connect with everybody. Exactly. We've literally put iPads on the table when we've had dinner to feel like we're all connected.
Yeah. We put a clock over it this time because we ran for 6 hours yesterday. So we did really well. And I think it was probably a good opportunity to kind of end on that nice celebratory, gastronomic, healthy, but
look fabulous,
still enjoy your
food.
Yeah, and look fabulous while you're doing it in Eve's makeup line.
So with that, we'd like to say thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. It really has.
You.
And
you know what to get me for Christmas.
I know what to get you for Christmas. And
I know what to get you for Christmas.
Exactly.
I'll help you.
And if you are around the world, have a great week. If you're in the United States, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll catch it. Actually, happy Thanksgiving, or as we like to call it in England, Thursday.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for spilling the tea with us.
See you next week.